Minister. Nigel Farage, very good morning to you. It became a bit of a mantra, didn't it, in the Brexit campaign? There will be a points-based system, Aussie style. Well, it's not for Theresa May.
No, I mean, I've been saying it for 10 years, and indeed, it was one of the reasons that UKIP went from being a small party to being a big party, as people want to have controls, not just on the numbers of people that come, but on the type of people that come, to know that those that come to work bring their own health insurance, haven't got criminal records, and that's why it caught the public's imagination. And I guess the concern is this, that for 6 years, Theresa May was the Home Secretary. She presided over record levels of net migration into this country. And now to say, we're not going to have a points-based system, looks like backsliding. And I think there'll be a lot of people today who voted for Brexit, who were happy when the Prime Minister said Brexit means Brexit, but are now just a little bit worried.
She might just think it's a lousy idea. I mean, she has said, or people have said, that when you look at the Australian-style points-based system, you look at a country where immigration actually, for all its purported merits, immigration has risen sharply.
Well, with a points-based system, you can use it to increase immigration or you can use it to decrease immigration. The point is you have a set of criteria that unless people pass, they simply won't be allowed in. I accept there are other ways of doing it. You know, a proper strict work permit scheme could well be one way of doing it. The worry is, though, we've not been given a date for Article 50 to be declared. We go on paying £34 million a day net into the European Union's coffers, and now we're told not just that she's dropping the points-based system, but number 10 this morning would not rule out EU citizens having preferential access to this country. And believe me, those people, those 17.4 million people who voted for Brexit, they want delivery.
Yeah, I mean, the trade-off could be there could be some sort of system that would preserve the single market. And you can understand why there are those, perhaps within the government and without the government too, who feel it's a very good idea. When they listen to the warnings, we were interviewing the Japanese ambassador to London just an hour ago, who, in fairly coded, nuanced ways, repeated what we've heard over the weekend, which is that some of those big Japanese investors, the big car makers, might look again at their investments in the UK if we weren't part of the European single market.
The Japanese told us if we didn't join the Euro 16 years ago, they might leave the UK. The Japanese told us if we voted for Brexit, they might leave the UK. And now they're saying if we don't stay part of the single market, they might leave the UK. They're here because they have a good, skilled workforce doing a great job for them. And of course, we're going to have a sensible deal with the European Union. Goodness me, the number of BMWs and Audi and Mercedes I've seen on London's roads this morning confirms to me that they sell us more than we sell them. Look, whatever arguments there may be in the Cabinet or in Parliament about the single market, bear in mind our political class support the EU single market. Our citizens, in a free and fair referendum, voted against the single market. We voted to be a self-governing democratic nation that trades with our neighbours but opens ourselves up to the world.
Not far from where you sit, Mr Farage, at Westminster Hall in the Palace of Westminster, the debate's going on today about the whole question, in the minds of some people, 4 million people who signed an online petition, of whether what's needed for the specifics of Brexit is a second referendum. What's your message to those people?
Well, it's a fine EU tradition. You know, we've seen it in Ireland and we've seen it in Denmark. If people vote and get the wrong result, they're asked to vote again. My answer to all these people is this wasn't the best of three. This was the real thing. You may not like it, but the Brexit side won. Please get over it and accept the fact we're living in a democracy.
Nigel Farage, thanks very much indeed. Thanks a lot.